It begins as all ghost stories do, with a whisper in the dark. In the heart of St. Louis stands a house that once echoed with laughter, the clink of beer mugs, and the shuffle of velvet slippers across hand-polished floors. But that was long ago. Before the suicides, before the madness, before the Lemp family vanished into legend. This isn't just a haunted house, it's a grave etched into brick, a tombstone with windows. Welcome to the Lemp Mansion. Tonight on Shadow Tales, we open the doors to a dynasty forgotten by time. What secrets lie beneath the rotted floorboards? What spirits still linger in the attic, pacing, waiting? Turn out the lights, and remember, ghosts don't haunt buildings. They haunt bloodlines. To understand the horror, we must first understand the glory. In the 1800s, the Lemp family was untouchable. Their name was synonymous with power, prestige, and beer. Johann Adam Lemp, a German immigrant, arrived in St. Louis with a recipe, a dream, and little else. In the damp cellars beneath his modest grocery store, Adam began brewing a light, crisp lager, something rare in America at the time. His beer spread like wildfire, tapping into the hearts and tongues of a thirsty nation. By the mid-19th century, the Lemp Brewery was a titan, rivaling Anheuser-Busch. The family moved into an opulent mansion just blocks away from the brewery, connected by mysterious underground tunnels carved into the limestone bedrock. They weren't just brewing beer, they were brewing an empire. But as the glasses overflowed, so did the darkness behind closed doors. The Lemp Mansion wasn't just a home, it was a labyrinth. Above ground, 33 rooms of luxury, gaslight chandeliers, and imported mahogany furniture. Below ground, a system of tunnels and caverns, known as the Cherokee Caves, used to transport beer, yes, but also to hide secrets. Rumors swirled that the caves weren't just for cooling lager. There were whispers of isolation chambers, of secret cellars with no windows, of children who never saw the sun. One such child was said to live in the attic, the monkey-faced boy, as cruel visitors later called him. Born with deformities, he was allegedly locked away by the family, hidden from public shame. No photographs, no records. Only a face in the window, still seen by guests decades after the last Lemp drew breath. And it wasn't just the attic. Paranormal investigators today report cold spots in the old parlor, phantom footsteps that march endlessly from the master bedroom to the staircase, whispers that come from behind locked doors, doors that open on their own. But the scariest thing about the house, it's not that it's haunted, it's that everything that happened inside was real. The Lemp legacy wasn't destroyed by competition, it was consumed from within. In 1901, the heir to the empire, Frederick Lemp, died suddenly of heart failure. He was just 28. His father, William Lemp Sr., unraveled. And in 1904, he took a revolver into his bedroom and ended his life. But that was just the beginning. In 1920, Elsa Lemp Wright, the wealthiest heiress in St. Louis, died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, though some speculate it wasn't suicide at all. There were bruises, inconsistencies, secrets buried with her body. Then William Jr., once the head of the brewery, watched everything he built crumble after Prohibition. The brewery was sold at auction for pennies. His marriage fell apart, and in 1922, he too put a gun to his temple. Finally, Charles Lemp, the last occupant of the mansion, grew reclusive and paranoid. He dismissed all the staff, installed steel shutters on the windows, and lived in silence. In 1949, he shot his dog, then himself. The note was simple. "In case I am found dead, blame it on no one but me." 5 members, 4 suicides, 1 family, 1 house. Time moves on. But in the Lemp Mansion, it never really did. After Charles's death in 1949, the house sat silent for years, a mausoleum masquerading as architecture. But silence doesn't mean peace, and in the stillness, the house began to speak. In the 1950s, workers attempting renovations reported hearing footsteps above them when no one was upstairs. Hammers vanished, doors opened and slammed without warning. One man fled mid-shift and never returned. The mansion eventually became a boarding house. Tenants complained of being watched, of hearing their names whispered from inside their closets, of icy hands touching them as they slept. A woman in room 3 claimed she saw a pale figure at the end of her bed, wearing a 1920s nightgown. It mouthed something, then faded through the wall. The sightings began to stack. The face of a child in the attic window, a woman in lavender perfume walking the second-floor hall, and perhaps most terrifying, phantom gunshots echoing through the house at 2:22 a.m., always 2:22. There's one room even the bravest ghost hunters hesitate to enter, the attic. It's locked during the day, only opened for guided tours or paranormal investigations. Some say that's to preserve history. Others say it's because something is still up there. The legend of the monkey-faced boy, a child allegedly hidden from the world due to deformities, remains the most persistent tale. Guests have reported seeing a small figure ducking behind the window curtains. Others hear soft shuffling footsteps pacing back and forth, as if someone's waiting to be let out. Paranormal recordings have picked up whimpering sounds, and once, just once, a clear voice whispering, "I didn't ask to be born." Below the attic lies room 3, sometimes called the suicide suite. It's where William Sr. ended his life, and where guests report nausea, disorientation, and sudden panic attacks. One investigator claimed she felt an invisible weight press against her chest so heavily she thought she was going into cardiac arrest. The staff keeps a log of all incidents, pages of handwritten accounts, cold hands, moving shadows, glowing orbs. Some entries are scratched out violently. No one seems to know who did it. Why does the Lemp Mansion remain so active? Why has it become one of the most documented hauntings in American history? Some say it's residual energy, emotions so powerful they imprint themselves on the walls. Others argue it's intelligent, that the spirits remain aware, bound to unfinished business, shame, and isolation. But there's another theory, one even more chilling. The idea that trauma can echo, that it lives in places, yes, but also in people. That when grief is buried, it doesn't die. It waits, and it spreads. The Lemps were not cursed by ghosts. They were haunted by silence, secrets kept behind velvet curtains, a refusal to confront pain, until it consumed them all. Now those same secrets slip through the cracks of the floorboards. They whisper through vent grates. They wait at the end of your hotel bed, watching, remembering, echoing. Paranormal investigation teams from across the country have made the pilgrimage to the Lemp Mansion, and almost none have left empty-handed. EVP sessions, electronic voice phenomena, have yielded chilling results. A voice, childlike and distant, recorded in the attic, "Don't shut the door." Another, from the basement tunnels, a raspy whisper asking, "Where's Father?" Thermal imaging cameras have picked up cold spots shaped like human silhouettes. One investigator watched in real time as a handprint appeared on the inside of a locked glass cabinet. An EMF spike coincided with a sudden nosebleed experienced by a guest. She collapsed moments after saying, "I just felt someone put their hands around my neck." None of this is proof in the scientific sense. But what do you call a place where technology records what the human eye cannot see, but the body still feels? Not all visitors believe in ghosts. At least, not at first. One local historian who scoffed at the hauntings agreed to spend the night in room 2. He brought his laptop, books, and a smug grin. At 3:08 a.m., his room key was found outside the door, still locked from the inside. When the staff opened the room, they found him crouched in the corner, weeping. He had carved one word into the wooden dresser over and over: alone. A wedding photographer once used the mansion as a backdrop for a Gothic-themed shoot. While editing the photos, he noticed a man in a top hat standing in the reflection of a hallway mirror. The groom remembered no such person. The guests saw no one. But the figure is identical to William Lemp Sr. Even skeptics who escape unscathed physically often admit to vivid nightmares, disorientation, or feeling emotionally off for weeks after visiting. Some call it suggestion, others call it exposure, but the mansion's effect is undeniable. Beneath the Lemp Mansion, the tunnels remain. Most are sealed now, but a few have been explored, twisting passages of damp stone and forgotten darkness. The brewery caverns once used for beer storage now hold only silence and stories. Some believe the mansion's true horror lies underground, that whatever dark weight settled upon the Lemp family first crept in from beneath. A rot older than the brewery, a presence that fed on grief, guilt, and genetic memory. Not everyone agrees. Some say it's the architecture, others say it's all psychological. But then you remember the suicide notes, the faces in the windows, the EVP that said, "Still here." The question isn't whether the mansion is haunted. The question is why it chose them, or if they chose it. We build walls to keep out the world, but what if the walls remember? The Lemp Mansion stands as a testament not just to tragedy, but to the refusal to forget. What happens when pain is never spoken? When grief is locked away, just like the attic child? Some houses are just houses, but others are graveyards pretending to live. So, the next time you feel a chill at the base of your spine, the next time a creak echoes in your hallway when no one's home, ask yourself, what has this place seen, and who is still seeing you? From Shadow Tales, sleep lightly. If you enjoyed this journey into the dark corners of history, subscribe to Shadow Tales for more original, chilling, and true horror narrations. Until next time, keep your lights low and your curiosity high.